Fox be on. CNN, mama picking out boxes for 'em. On that thing, got my own boxes on. On headphones to get my poppin' on.
Man, we back at it again, man, with another video, another daily Joe. As always, hope y'all staying safe, you know, staying inspired, staying motivated, staying the whole shit on your purpose, right? So, you know, let's dive right up into it, man. You know, today, man, we're gonna be, talking about, it's one thing that I think that you should, that everybody needs to have. Everybody needs to put the use that we always have, that everybody has. You know, we need to start to use this thing up here called a brain, right? Called intellectual property. We need to start utilizing that, because I don't think that we understand fully how powerful this thing that we hold up here in this skull called a brain / intellectual property, how much capability that we really got, and we could create, you know, if we properly put it to use. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's crazy how much like power that this shit that we call a brain really retain, right? And what I mean by that, certain categories we need to improve on. Thinking. It's so simple. We need to learn how to think. We need to learn how to sit back, assess shit, think about a way to navigate through that situation, and proceed on forward and take it head on. See, we as humans don't tend to think. We tend to just react, think, and then ponder on what we could have did better. That's backwards. You should assess, think, then take action. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is like this. I'm gonna give y'all an example. You know, right now, it's 2020, right? It's 2020 right now. It's a lot of old heads out there, and they giving game to us, and the game that they giving is from like I said in my, I don't know, one of them videos. Like I said, the game that they giving is from like 19 something. Bro, it's 2020. It's 2020. We in a pandemic and shit look like it's about to get real. I mean, it already been real, but it's about to get more realer. What am I gonna do with some game that you give me from the 90s? Like, seriously, what am I gonna do with some game that you give me from the 90s? And the crazy thing is, like, you ain't even in a decent position in life. So what are you giving me game for and about? You can't tell me how to navigate through the system, because you ain't, look where you at. And I'm just saying, I'm keeping it a beam. Like, if we going, like I said, that's why I said we got to think, right? And assess shit, right, for what it is. You not even in a decent position in life. And you 50-something. You 40-something, 30, however old you is. You 30-something. And if you in the 80s, you up 40-something, right? All that shit. You're not even in a decent position in life to be giving me game on how to navigate through life. And the game that you giving is from the shit that your old heads gave you from when you was my age. How that work? So, what that mean is, again, once you assess, you think about shit, and you see what's going on, that means you figure out a plan to navigate through that and take that head on, right? So what that mean is, we need to start learning how to be outside of the box thinkers and stop following traditionalism, right? Traditionalism and progression, they're not friends. That's like good and bad. They're not friends at all. Traditionalism and progression, they ain't gonna mix. You see what I'm saying? Because traditionalism is what I just explained. A motherfucker that's like 40 years old, and I think if you're 40, you probably born in like the 80s or something, in that whole era, if I'm not mistaken. If you 40 and you born in the 80s, you know, and they giving you game from when they was like, you know, let's say 21, and then they passing it down to you. Yo, how many years of that is like, how many years of evolution and progression has the world overcame during that whole time span? And you trying to give me game from when you was 21, and you think it's applicable now? Bro, I can give you the smallest example. We got cell phones that we could touch on shit and it do what we tell it to do. We could talk to our phone and do it, and it do it what we tell it to do. And you trying to give me game about some bullshit from fucking damn near light centuries ago. It ain't gonna work. So we need to stop following traditionalism and start thinking outside the box, understanding that, you know, not necessarily like, you know, everything they say is just washed up. I ain't saying that. Certain categories, you definitely do gotta question shit. Question shit. You gotta use this thing up top that we call a brain. You gotta question shit. You know what I'm saying? If it don't make sense, it don't make sense. Just because it's coming from somebody older than you don't mean that they know all the answers, because evidently they don't if you look at their life. And I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way. I'm keeping it a beam. if you look at their life and you see that they one check from their life falling the fuck apart, why would I accept gain from you? I'm just being honest. And you need to think like that too. Why would I accept gain from you? Because I'm gonna tell you what happened if you do, for following traditionalism, the way of they passing down that shit. Let me accept gain from you, right? And you one check from your whole life falling the fuck apart. What you think gonna happen to me? Hey, young boy, all you gotta do is do do all that, right? So I do all that. I'm gonna look out. I'm gonna be 40 the fuck years old, and my whole life, I'm gonna be one check from my whole life falling the fuck apart. That's what's gonna happen. Why? Because I just followed traditionalism. And I did the same shit that old head did when he was 21 and somebody gave him game. And it may be worse when I'm 40, because when I'm 40, it'll probably be like 2041 or some shit. If my math not bad. You see what I'm saying? So it'll probably be worse. All type of futuristic shit, and I can't do nothing. I'm just assed out, can't even enjoy life for nothing. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta stop following traditionalism. That's just one example. I'm gonna give y'all another one off the top. You know, we need to stop having this mindset that, you know, things is just gonna come knocking at the door for us. And what I mean by that is that if you're not working for nothing, and don't get me wrong, I'm Muslim, you know, I believe in Allah and all that, you know, I'm already in religion. But you can't have this mindset thinking that because you believe in a God, whoever your religion is, you can't have this mindset thinking that if you believe in a God, or you follow or practice a religion, that some shit is gonna get handed to you and knock at your front door, and you just gonna be a millionaire, or you gonna get a nice big financial, whatever the case, blessing. You may get a life blessing, but you ain't gonna get no financial blessing. You know what I'm saying? And we need to stop that way of thinking, because that's not even, that don't even have no common sense. If you don't put no work in for something, if you don't put no work in life for something, how is a bag gonna just knock on your door like, hey yo, this for Sherry? Yeah, this $1 million. This for Sherry. You Sherry? All right, here you go. Like, that's not how life works. And I know everything ain't about money, but at the end of the day, it is, because we live in a country to where this whole shit, like I said, it revolves around money. So if you're not thinking about ways how to, again, use money as a tool of leverage to empower your family and put them all in a position to win, then you're gonna be in a position to lose. So if you feel offended by what I said, you're gonna be in a position to lose, because we tend to put ourselves, as a culture, we tend to put ourselves in this state of mind that, you know, we can't never make radical amount of money. So, you know, we content with what we got. Man, I don't need all that money. I'm perfectly fine where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I don't need all that money. But essentially, you may not need all that money, but you being selfish now, because you got kids, right? You got granddaughters, you got brothers and sisters, you got kids and all that, right? You got family, right? So you being selfish now, because you only thinking for yourself. Because if you had all that money, it's not about you, like you just said, right? So what you gonna do is you're gonna put everybody in position to win. Here, and practice nepotism. That's what it's called. You're gonna practice nepotism. I'm gonna throw you a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna write up a contract. Yeah, man, you pay me this back on interest whatever the case is, every month, whatever, quarterly, however you want to do it. That's how you in-home bank. That's how you build foundations from the ground up. But again, it all starts with just thinking. You sit back, think, assess, create a plan of action, move forward, dive into it, face adversity head on. But we can't sit back and think that, like, Allah gonna bless us with financial, just a big bag. It's not gonna happen. You could trick yourself all day and all night thinking that it's gonna come. It's not. You might find like a little $100 bill or something on the ground, but I'm talking about a bag. Like, I'm talking about to really get, you know, to really be decent in life. And I don't want to hear it. Everybody want to live decent in life. So don't even hit me with no, oh, everything ain't about money. You know, I don't need all that money. No, you don't want all that money, because you already told yourself that you ain't never gonna get it. So you content, and you tricked your brain into thinking that you ain't never gonna get it. So that's your way of just psyching yourself out. Oh, I don't need all that money. I'm good. So you don't want to live comfortable. You don't want to have financial freedom. You don't want to help other people who in a worse position than you. You don't want to do none of that stuff. You just want to be check to check, live in the hood, live in the projects, they shooting every day. That you cool with that? That don't make sense. So again, we need to stop following traditionalism and think outside the box. Because traditionalism is just going to continue to be traditionalism. You're going to go down the same route. The same route that your mom, sister, brother, uncle, aunt, nieces, cousins, uncle, grandfather, grandma, all if they all in the same position in life, what does that tell you? By using your brain, ask yourself and answer the question in your head, what does that tell you? If they all in the same position in life, maybe they may be hundreds of dollars away from each other financially, but if they all in the same situation in life, what does that tell you? They all follow traditionalism, and they all in the same position. So if you follow the traditionalism in the game that they giving you, what does that tell you? You're gonna end up in the same position by the time you their age. It's simple math. It's really not hard when you think about it. It's really not. It's not hard. And it's easier said than done, because being that you're gonna be aware of shit like that, it's gonna carry you to it's gonna have you carrying it to a point to where you to them you're gonna be non-receptive to their information, right? So that may cause some friction, but that's the shit you gotta deal with when you learning yourself and you on the right track. I'm gonna tell y'all something. When shit stop making sense, that's how you know you're on the right track. You see what I'm saying? When shit stop making sense, that's how you know you're on the right track. When everything makes sense and everything falling into place, I'm not gonna say you on the wrong track, but again, you 9 times out of 10 you probably following traditionalism, and that's why everything makes sense. What I mean by that, right? I'm gonna just give you an example. You go to work every day, and again, ain't nothing wrong with working. I love to work. Like I said, if I was a millionaire, I'd work still, just because it's another stream of income if I had the time. If I could make the time. We go to work every day. You go to work every day, you wake up, alarm clock go up, boom, get up, do your thing, you go to the job, do what your manager, the boss tell you to do. You go home, repeat the process. It's just a process. It shouldn't be nothing, no errors in that whole process, because you don't have control of nothing. Just being real, you don't have no control over nothing, so it shouldn't really be no errors in that whole process. Now, it's gonna be some bullshit in the middle that you personally gonna have to deal with from your own life, that if you do have control over it. But in that whole process, there shouldn't be no errors, right? Let's say you on the opposite stem of that, right? You got your own business and shit like that. Shit stop going as it should be. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know you're on the right track, because that causes you to fix the patches up and all that. Create a plan of action that to proceed. And while you doing that, while you in the mix of doing that, you may consciously or unconsciously be elevating yourself. I mean, it's always elevation. What I mean by that is you unconsciously or consciously may be scaling up. I guess the same shit, but scaling up. You see what I'm saying? And that's progression. So that's a quick example to let you know that, or to have you think outside the box a little bit, that when shit stop making sense, that's how you know you're on the right track. And when life stop making sense, like it's not no small, like it's shit just not, you're not even gonna comprehend, like, yo, like, why is me and him falling out? Why is me and her falling out? Why am I on the streets homeless right now and I'm doing the right thing? Why? Like, it's gonna be some shit that you just gonna be like, yo, I don't even got no answer for this. I can't even come up with some shit like that to make up for this. I can't rely on nobody for this. I gotta talk to God on this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be some stuff like that, but use that as not validation, as confirmation that when things start going that way and just don't make no sense, number one, it's always gonna be light at the end of the road, at the end of the tunnel, but that's when you know you're on the right track. Because now with the universe and whoever you believe in, whatever the case is, what it's doing is it's separating you from everybody that you don't got no business being around, depending on the situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna cause you to just think. Bring it back to thinking. It's gonna cause you to think. You're gonna start to come up with plans of action to be progressive and get yourself out of whatever situation that you just possibly landed yourself in. That's gonna cause you to think. You see what I'm saying? So again, I'm gonna bring it back to the main topic. Think. Use your brain. See something, assess it for what it is, look at it for what it is, create a plan of action to move forward and be progressive and take it head on. It's simple. Because if you don't, you got somebody already that's doing that, and people doing it every day. And what they doing is they creating and they building businesses for them to prosper, and they putting their family in decent positions. They practicing nepotism. They doing it. And if you don't want to practice it, that's perfectly fine. What you gonna do is work for the family that already practice nepotism and they family in a decent chair. So now you just working for them. Again, ain't nothing wrong with it, but let's be realistic. Everybody I don't care who you is. Everybody want to live decent in life. Don't nobody want to be struggling. Don't nobody want to be check and check. Don't nobody want to be in a bad neighborhood. I don't care, bro. You can't even convince me that that's the logical way of thinking. Because a motherfucker see a nice crib on TV, watching HD TV, billionaire type of, crib, living life, all that, right? And they be like, damn, that's a nice crib. So that automatically, you already know you like that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't want to live there if you could. That's what I'm saying. A lot of us trick ourselves and psych ourselves out to think that, like, man, there ain't no way I'm living in that crib. So I already know, like, I don't even want that type of money. You know what I'm saying? You just psych yourself out, man. I don't even want that type of money. I ain't gonna get it. So you just stamped yourself and all. Like, this shit ain't never coming. This is over with. It's over with. $12 an hour, that's me. You know what I'm saying? That's me right there. But that $1 million every month, that 6-figure months, that ain't me right there. I don't even want to think about that because that shit ain't real. It is real. You just got to put the work in. And again, use everything that you got as a tool of leverage and not for what it is. Not for what you perceive it to be, excuse me. Use it for what it is. Don't use it for what you perceive it to be. Don't look at a piece of money like it's just money and I'm going to buy whatever I want. And this is how, don't look at it like that. It's a tool of leverage. I got $100. What can I put this $100 in that's going to make me some bread back and essentially clear up some time for me if possible? It's simple. Simple math. Again, adversity builds character, man. I'm going to leave y'all with that, man. As always, man, hope y'all staying safe, staying inspired, don't ever give up. Don't never stop. You can slow down, keep running laps around all the motherfuckers who stop. By the time you look up, you're going to be in a decent position. Again, just lay a brick a day. That's all you got to do. You don't got to make no brick house. Don't build no foundation at one time. Lay a brick a day. By the time you look up, you're going to have a whole decent crib. Don't get me wrong. Adversity builds character. It's going to be a shit ton of adversity in the middle. And you got to know that it's going to make you or break you on how you dealing with it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to leave y'all with that, man. That's love. Tap in with y'all soon.
See, y'all think it's a game till Fox be on. CNN, mama picking out boxes for 'em. On that thing, got my own boxes on. On headphones to get my bopping on.